Previously on the Stanley Parable. Yeah, clearly Kuma does not listen to authority.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Why on earth would you have a step like this in the employee room? The odds of someone slipping and injuring themselves is...
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Maybe they vanished because this office is not OH&S safe. Ah! Well, that just happened. Oh, so the doors can actually open now. Well, clearly someone hasn't finished painting this place. They've cut the paint on the walls, but they haven't done the actual painting. Can I pick up the wrench as a weapon?
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Well, this was fun. And the dialogue's different. New content, eh?
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
It means new shit. Yeah.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
I mean, I haven't even seen the normal content, but let's do it.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Why do I feel like my testicles are going to be connected to a car battery?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
The fuck?
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
I can jump now? Fucking finally! Now the real question is, can I bunny hop? Oh, you son of a... This will be good for a screenshot. Nani? Oh, you son of a...
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Well, this should be something. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Are you joking?
It? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend? Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
No thanks, Satan.
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so... Oh, never mind. You're not a dork.
Nah. CS underscore assault much?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
What the hell? What the hell? The fair?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Huh. Well, ain't this fun? Please don't let this be spoiler. Hey!
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
I mean, I clearly said that I never played the original before, but by all means, throw me into this. Our First Kiss, My First Car, the release of Stanley Parable in 2013. Okay. It's almost like that question had absolutely no impact. Huh. A trip down memory lane. Stanley Parable. Oh my god, begin demo. Okay. Go outside, don't play for 5 years. Unachievable, it's impossible to get this achievement. New video game releasing today. Created surprisingly down to earth. Stanley Parable deals tough choices. Well, this is pretty.
Je suis dans la mémorisation, seul sur l'abri des loups, et je n'attends plus que toi, mon amour. C'est là, dans la mémorisation, où je me remémore les jours où je t'ai rencontré, mon amour. Mais ici, c'est aussi.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
I mean, you know how we feel about Metal Gear Solid now. Huh? Nice car.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
My hand hurts. How do people do this? I mean, okay. I would like to get to the...
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Ooh.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Okay. So, like, Is this about me or is this about the reviewer?
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
They never are.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
I love how there's just a fucking floating board. So,
and here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah.
I know if you've ever seen that game. What is it? The Henry Stickmin collection? Yes, good game.
The logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to make. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your Greek gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. that you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look. I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
So this is basically Schrodinger's manifesto. Fiverr says there's an achievement or hidden ending back there somewhere. Got all the if statements here, all arrays, nesting if else statements and if else nesting statements.
Manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
Boobs. Ass. Boobs. Ass. Boobs. Ass. Boobs. Ass. I'm sorry, I love them both.
Treatise, manifesto. 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 Treatise, manifesto.
Someone's saying thighs. I will admit, thighs are pretty nice, especially to sleep on.
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial, something along the lines of, "This game is the best game." Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe? Such a revolutionary step forward in the lineage of one of the most beloved video game properties of all time. It's the perfect review. It's the review I've always dreamed of receiving. I have to read it again. It's simply too wonderful. I have to experience this just one more time. From the ashes of depravity. Right.
So the way it says from the ashes, it's because it's looping. One person can only jack themselves off so much before they get rope burn. I think. Is it possible to get rope burn from jacking yourself off? Or is it possible to jack yourself off so much that you give it rope burn? Wouldn't technically rope burn be possible on both surfaces given the nature of the friction? I mean, it should technically be possible, given that both are flesh, moving and rubbing against each other in rapid succession for long periods of time. So technically it would be possible if the speed and space within the two pieces of flesh are together. You can bruise yourself from continuous jacking. Interesting. You can actually die from masturbating. Fuck. Suicide by jacking off. How did this man die? He jacked himself off to death, sir. How does that work? Apparently his heart just gave out, sir. It just kept trying to finish, but there was nothing left. It was just completely empty, and then the heart's just like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Just one more time. From the ashes of...
Oh, he says one more time. So apparently he's going to monologue it again. Let's see if he doesn't skip. I'm actually curious. This is quite something. This is the new content.
I have to read it again. It's simply too wonderful. I have to experience this just one... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back! Oh my goodness, I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
Huh?
Oh, hello, it's you. You're here again, welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley.
He dead. Nani? Oh no, it's the carbon monoxide meter. Adios.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time.
I now understand how you guys feel when I ramble. And I apologize.
Sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter result.
Is he dead yet? Alright, he dead. You have no idea. Fab's just been like, thank you. You're not that bad. It's like, oh, okay.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Yeah, we're gonna have a problem with that lake. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty bad. Ah, told ya. Lakes are always trouble. Place is falling apart. Near automata? What the hell? This must be SMT. Oh, shit. Oh, what the hell? Well, we fucked up. Oh, the comforts of normalcy and the routine and the comforts of knowing that no matter what you do, you will end up in this room till the day you die. The soft...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
All the squares make a circle. 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 All the...
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
All the squares make a circle.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our screenshot.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
So, I'm just gonna skip the first game, yeah? Cool.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
So, you're going to disguise a sequel by calling it the Ultra Deluxe by including the original? That's nice. I don't get it. You're saying that depending on which side of the brain I'm predominant means I'm going to observe these two images differently? Wait a minute. You're shitting on a bunch of logos, aren't you? I like it. I like it. I'll pay that. See, I should have definitely gotten something like this, but let's face it, I have absolutely no taste.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
The end is never the end. Again. Fuck. That's just like... I just love how bloody, you know, aware they are. This way to the show floor, of course. Ooh! New features! Maybe Hachon can help with the furniture? She already furnished her room. Leave Kuma to Kuma's room. You kind of want it to be your flavor. Even if you don't have taste, you don't want it to be someone else's flavor, you know what I mean? Because the background is supposed to be an expression of who you are as a person. If someone else is designing it, then you're just letting someone else design your environment, which isn't really expressing who you are as a person. Which kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it?
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
The reassurance bucket? What the hell? The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Hear your name in the game. Enjoy the new features. Are you serious? Coffee cups. What? Oh my god. The button that says the name of the player. Okay.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Ladies, maybe you can help me out with this one. Alright, let's try it.
Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Hello, my name is Jim. I am your plumber. I'm here to fix your plumbing. Yes, please show me to your bathroom. Okay, I fix plumbing. There you go, lady. Your toilet is fixed. Oh, you want me to fix sink? Okay, I fix sink. Okay, sink fixed. Oh, you want me to fix kitchen? No problema. Okay. Oh, you want me to fix your pipes in the bedroom? Okay. Wait, I don't see any... Why are you naked? No, do not touch my pipe.
Jim. Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again. Jim. Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. let's take a break from the gym button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
It probably took someone an entire week to design this room. My god. Imagine the mental energy that could have been put towards something, I don't know, like solving world hunger. Or making a 3D render and a physics engine for boobs. You know, in such a way so the boobs don't move in the same direction. They move independently of each other, like Metal Gear Solid 5. And the way they jiggle when the sniper rifle fires. The one closest to the buttstock always jiggles more than the other. Amazing feature.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable too. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
My god, you just described corporate in a nutshell. The reassurance bucket. Merchandise. Oh my god.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Okay, Iba, I want you to wear the bucket.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
You see, it's not like you're using a fire extinguisher and running with it. Because if you're running with a fire extinguisher, no one's going to ask you where you're going. And they're not going to question why you're going into a secure area without the correct, stuff.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Why is that guy facing me now? Please no screenshots.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
I would normally go with this one, but let's try to be different.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
You son of a bitch. I am going...
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
I'm gonna strangle the narrator.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Why does this guy keep turning around? Free and new easy achievement. Oh, okay. Alright, so whose dick do I have to suck for an achievement? It's a bit like Amber Heard getting Aquaman 2. Get yours right now. Pull the lever, receive your achievement.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Exterminate. Exterminate. Looks a bit like a Dalek, doesn't it?
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
I don't know. These ones. Collectibles, free achievement, infinite hole. What am I pressing? What the fuck?
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
So I'm gonna get nothing for collecting them all. I'm not gonna do it.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
I'm not secretly looking for the figures. I'm not interested in collecting them all. I'm not that type of gamer. I'm not obsessed with doing everything in a game, am I? Distant space-time. Space-like infinity. Hole-like infinity. Distant future, time-like infinity. Distant past. Oh, no. Rim. Depth. Oh, I see what you did there. Huh? Huh? Science? What? Where the fuck does this go? He just keeps going. Where the fuck? I is confused.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
But if it's an infinite hole, how did you build the bricks? Shit.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
So who?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
You were bullshitting about the infinite hole, weren't you? Who the hell built it, though?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
Ha!
Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
That didn't sound like an apology. I want an apology. Well... Seriously, I don't understand the silent treatment. How do people do this shit?
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you Oh, for heaven... You see? I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Ah, yes. My university is in a nutshell.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not... How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
What can I say? Any hole's a goal.
Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
But this is why you don't get married. Why would you want to be stuck with the same hole till the end of time? I mean, it's either a hole or an asshole. You know what I mean? Oh, I know, I can feel the dread. No! Help! The bucket's not making me feel... Oh no, it's getting deeper! Deeper, deeper, deeper. Deeper, deeper, deeper still. Deeper, 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 deeper. No!
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Well, this is something, isn't it? But don't I already have the bucket? I have the bucket. What's behind this door? Look, I know going back to the hole is wrong, but let's be real here. I've made this mistake more than once. Why is the hole closed? Am I not good enough? Why is Stanley sad? So where the frick am I supposed to go? Not you, frick, but you get what I mean, frick. Epilogue, they say. Epilogue? It's next to the button that says the name of the player. The fuck's an epilogue? Ray tracing in this game, what the fuck? Baby's all grown up. Bankruptcy! You see Stanley's face? That's what happens when he finds out there's a third kid on the way. Stanley will never have his dream car. Instead, he'll be buying diapers. What? Oh, come on. Did Kuma play the first one? No, he did not. See, Kuma doesn't get the inside jokes. Kuma just, likes holes. I mean, I don't know whether that's unnatural or completely natural. I mean, when you really think about it, how did our species get this far? By people liking holes. Oh, look, the exit is closed. Well, this is, something. So Kuma can't actually escape now. Well, isn't this interesting? So what does one do? If one cannot escape from the exit... Where's the exit? E is for exit. The exit is... A9. A9 is what size? Collectibles. So the exit is next to... Collectibles? There. Yay, it's closed. Or is that the exit?
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Well, only what you'll let me see. You would interact with the hole? Who wouldn't? Ooh, a cage fight!
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on.
Wait, collectible!
Arrangement.
Let me jump!
Yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh! Oh! Ain't that beautiful? You know what the fuck part is? I haven't actually cleared the first game. But it let us do this. It's actually really cool. I'm guessing this is just branching off an option that didn't exist in the first game. And so people will be like, ooh, Yugi boy, a door that wouldn't open before. Where does this hole lead? Ooh, more holes. Oh my god.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
This ain't a fucking broom closet, it's a storage room. With a broom in it. And cleaning equipment.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Yes, corporate in a nutshell.